Stocks from the pharma sector are also in focus. We have Sumit Gupta, the AVP Research from Centrum Broking, join us on the show to talk to us about just that. Hi, good to be speaking with you. Just to begin with, Sumit, wanted your take regarding this U.S Biosecure Act because that's become the latest buzzword when it comes to the pharma sector. Is it too early to start factoring it in the earnings visibility as well as the the SOTPs, etc., or do you see that as a firm possibility of gain for the Indian companies?
Thanks, Anisha, for having me on the show. So, I think it's like more of a news which is coming, and it will be a long-term opportunity if you see more of a 7 to 10 years kind of view, because it would not be an overnight shift from coming for the companies taking the business from China to some other Southeast Asian countries like India or Vietnam. So, I think it would be a long-term business shift and not a near-term opportunity as of now.
And given the share price move, do you think that has already been factored in?
More or less, there might be some run also, but I think the hopes are building in. But obviously, if once the shift comes in, it would be a very big positive for Indian pharma companies.
And overall, when it comes to the sector, what is the kind of capital expenditure that you're expecting from the entire healthcare industry going forward?
Overall, entire healthcare industry, or let's say in hospitals in particular, so we need to see on the capex point of view. We need to see how the capex is building up. Is it greenfield or brownfield? And within that also, we need to see whether the capex is in metro cities or the non-metro cities. So let's say for a greenfield expansion project in metro cities, it would be costing around 1.5 crore per bed. However, in let's say for a brownfield in the same city, it will be around 60 to 70 lakhs rupees per bed. So we need to see what kind of expansion plan is there, what is the nature of the capex.
Okay, sorry for shifting to the hospital side. Again, coming back to the pharma space, if you look at pricing was one of the biggest concern when it comes to the pharma sector in the US, but that seems to have now been sorted. Do you expect this pricing pressure issue to come back anytime soon?
Not in the near term, but we see like pricing pressure has like kind of stabilized, like nearly 6 to 7% kind of pricing pressure like that will sustain.
So then within your coverage of, let's say, the pharma companies, which are the ones you think are best placed right now in terms of risk reward, in terms of the upside which is available?
So in the large scale space, we like Sun Pharma.
Okay.
So due to the specialty generics portfolio it has, and overall best placed in terms of valuation also. So as of now, we see Sun Pharma as a good, safe bet. And apart from that, in the mid cap, we like JB Chemicals.
Okay. And now, if we focus on the hospital side, sure. A lot of capital expenditure is planned. A lot of beds are expected to come in. One big question that we had is that if these healthcare or hospital companies are focusing more on tier 1 cities, they're focusing more on building hospitals in the tier 2 cities. So won't that reduce the utilization levels in the tier 1 cities and impact their financials?
So basically, I would say there's a lot of demand supply gap which is there in the Indian country as a whole.
Okay.
So let's say for tier 2 cities also where majority of the hospital, let's say a city like Lucknow, where in the past 3 to 4 years, companies like Medanta has moved. So, and having achieved break even in the first full year of operations, that itself shows there is a lot of demand which is there to cater to. So, suppose a patient, there is a lot of volume which flows from Lucknow and that particular area of like the central and the eastern UP. They were moving to the Delhi NCR market. So, even if a hospital like Medanta has able to garner some bit of volume of that and able to achieve break even in first full year of operation, that itself shows there's a lot of demand supply gap in the country. So be it metro cities or tier 2 cities, there's a lot of tailwinds which is going for the hospital sector as a whole over the medium to long term.
Yeah, tailwinds are there because of course there's a huge gap in terms of the supply versus demand, but the big question is on the valuation front, right? So that's why people are circumspect there. But shifting focus to the diagnostic sector as well a bit, there was a lot of flip-flop over the last 3-4 years. The volume shot up during the COVID time. There were a lot of regulations, etc., that were coming in terms of the pricing, etc. How do you see the diagnostic sector poised for the next 3 years, and which stocks will you bet on within that category?
So, like within diagnostics, if you see, like post-COVID, there was a lot of entry of the new online players, just like Tata. So, over the last 1 year is if you see incumbents like Dr. Lal, Metropolis, they have improved their profitability in terms of getting the volume growth as well as the pricing growth. They have able to achieve volume growth as well as pricing growth. And going forward also, let's say for Dr. Lal, they have they plan to manage the revenue growth through volume growth only. So they don't plan to take any price hikes. But overall, if I see, we need to see from like different type of tests, be it routine test or specialized test. So in routine test, obviously there would be some pricing competition. However, in specialized test, there would not be that significant, because you see the incumbents, they are much better positioned as of now. So over the next 2 to 3 years, I'm positive on the diagnostics sector, with Dr. Lal being my top pick.
And how is the pricing pressure right now in the diagnostic space when compared to both online and offline? I know it was very high earlier, it has come down a bit, but what are your recent channel checks suggesting?
So as per our recent channel checks, obviously in the past there was some issue, obviously there was some pricing pressure. However, the incumbents, they have been able to take price increases, and if you see, the price increase has been in the range of around 3 to 6%. And if you see on an overall basis, so that particular 3 to 6% price increase, that will take the overall revenue growth to 2.5% kind of growth.
Okay, and quickly, because we have paucity of time, what do you make of a couple of these hospitals getting into the insurance space?
So insurance space as of now, it's a long-term journey basically as of now.
So you're not building anything in the SOTP, positive or negative, right?
As of now, it's nothing. It's kind of very too early to start. It will be like, obviously, if a company is getting into a particular getting into an insurance industry, then it would, from their point of view, it will be like getting a whole database of the particular patient, from when he's healthy, right from basically the blood group and everything, every detail, to getting that particular patient hospitalized. But as of now, it's very too early to say. Let's see how the industry goes over the medium to long term.
Yeah, let's see as and when that does happen.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Sumit, for coming by, stopping by our studios. But with that, we completely run out of time on this edition of Markets at Noon. From the entire team who put this show together, thank you so much for tuning in.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.